nothing interests me anymore. And when I say that, I mean it doesn't interest me in the way that it interests normal people. In fact, I'm literally baffled by this phenomenon when I come across it. People that can cheer and clap their hands and really act like everything's awesome, when to me they're doing the equivalent of watching paint dry into a semi-complex pattern. I really just don't find interest in it anymore. The only thing that fulfills me now is if someone's willing to have a really deep discussion with me. If they're willing to cast aside their beliefs, their expectations, if they can really be non-assuming about what we're talking about what we might talk about. This is the only thing that interests me now. It's strange. And this has really snowballed recently. I didn't used to be like this. When I was a child, of course, I would find pleasure in the simple things like a video game or Lego or a puzzle, a coloring book, anything really. And these material things, they just don't fascinate me at all. Food, relationships, people, concerts, even music, although music is different for me. It's one of the only bastions I have. But a lot of things, they don't hit right, you know. Something it feels very off. It's either a void inside of me, or there's some sort of frozen clock somewhere in the matrix, you know, whatever you want to call it. And I know I'm not the only one that's feeling this, that has felt this, where you could be in a group of people and they're just having the time of your life, and you just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm in the center of a puppet show, you know, and I'm a self-aware puppet, you know. And it's strange to try to peer inside someone's brain to figure out what they're thinking and how they're processing this. Is it just as simple as when you level up, when you start to see deeper, when you start to really seek the truth, if you're looking into conspiracy, do things below that level just not interest you anymore? And if that's the case, what comes after this level, and is it interesting? Or does it return? Is it a snake eating its own tail, you know? And that's a big question, right? Because if we're searching for something meaningful, and it is by definition unfindable, it's unknowable, and we really are just here to experience this tiny moment in time, if you believe in time. We're here to experience this, and that's it. There's a certain sense of dread in that, I feel. Especially if you find that these material things really just don't interest you at all. They don't. You know, I'm at the point in my life where I don't know if I'll give up a lot of food now. As you can see, I'm pretty emaciated. You know, I'm super skinny. I've been detoxing for a while, and a lot of this is just periods of 18-hour fasts and eating very little. And, you know, I feel content in that, weirdly, because food it's something that you like have to enjoy, I guess. Like maybe it's something that you don't really enjoy that much, but you trick yourself into saying that, oh, I'm really liking this burger, to distract yourself from the fact that you're really in a rat race. You're really surrounded by an extremely fake, set up, staged circus act that you're forced to participate in. And you don't know what you're doing. You don't know why you're doing it. You just know that you have to do it because everyone else is doing it. And everyone else is thinking the same thing. We're doing it because they're doing it. And you have to wonder why we're doing it. Do people want to do it? Well, maybe they do, because we usually only do things we want. Or do we do it because we only know that that's what we're supposed to want? You're supposed to want to eat a Big Mac. It tastes good. You're supposed to want to go to fast food. You're supposed to want to drink alcohol and do nicotine and all this stuff. and party all night. You're supposed to want that because everyone else does it and they have a great time. And I really just see through this facade even more than I ever did. It doesn't interest me. Nothing does. I mean, really the most interesting thing in my life is the tiny bit of lucid dreaming that I can do before I'm seemingly ripped out of this world. It's the only thing that feels, unique enough to be somewhat beautiful and scary. Even a scary dream is fun. It's a genre shift. It's a break from whatever this is. It always felt to me like reality should be more. And I believe it is more. And I'm still searching for that more. Still searching for what it is. And a lot of people may give me the advice to be more selfless, to give to people. And you wouldn't really believe how much I've done that, how much I've tried to do that. And it is edifying. It's or gratifying, either way. And it helps, but it's still this feeling. Like you can be in the moment, you can be loving it. And if you know what I'm saying, you know exactly where I'm approaching this from. It's this really tiny feeling in the back of your mind, in your brain, or, in your whole body. It's this feeling of this dread. It's, a lot of people call it existential, but it's not really that. It's just, it's a feeling of what else should I be doing to make this worthwhile? And why am I not having a worthwhile time? I've engaged, or I've tried to engage in all the things that are supposed to make you happy and give you serotonin, these long-lasting effects. Some of them work. But it's strange how the thing I find myself going back to, like the only thing that is truly satisfying at the end of the day is the tiniest things. Last night I was sitting in just a squatted position on the asphalt, playing with a tiny little stick and a leaf, just sticking the leaf. And it was fun because this little stick had a very sharp end, and this leaf was just so tiny, so I could stick it. And it sounds so stupid, right? It's like, but when you think about when you were a child and these things were just wondrous to you, you really have to go back to that. You have to feel that real beauty in these very small things. I'm talking like looking at an object and just really just admiring it. It can be a very strange thing. I was the other day I was really just hyperfixating on this light fixture. And this light fixture was so fascinating to me. I don't know how to explain it, but it felt satisfying because it's either that or it's the material things that you're supposed to want, the things that are supposed to make you happy. And more, I don't find myself happy with these things. Going back to really admiring these wholesome things like a child. And that's why children are so happy, is because they haven't bogged their mind down with the things that we're supposed to like because we've been told to like them. They just admire things simply for what they are. And we have to go back to this. Rather than seeing the entire picture, a child can see a very small part of the machine, small part of the puzzle, and find that interesting instead of the entire puzzle. That's why art is nice to look at. Because of the whole picture, of course, but you zoom in and you look at the brush strokes and just the beauty of a brush stroke.